Greetings and welcome, everyone. Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Rodney, and here with our guests, our dear friend, love, and wonderful compadre on this planet, in this world, in this teaching, in this philosophy, in this life, Reverend Marie Kirkland. We just have some wonderful observations and sharings and education and everything already set for you in mind and in heart. However, how we start, as always, is by choosing heaven. And we're going to have Reverend Marie do the opening prayer afterwards. So you can type in what you're choosing for heaven, for yourself, or for anyone else, because we're all one. So what we choose for ourselves, we choose for each other. So, yeah, type it into the comments and hopefully we can catch it and Reverend Marie can throw it into the prayer, the evocation, as I like to say. So yeah, just say hi, Reverend Marie. Hey, okay.
Yes, good to be here. Good to be.
Yes,
Yes.
always good to have you. So here we go. Choosing heaven. When? Now, today. Yes, choosing heaven. What are you choosing for your life moment by moment today? and each and every day. Well, that's your freedom. Choose freedom to choose. So we're going to move into our opening prayer. We're going to start it off hot and heavy with Reverend Marie cooking, and she's gonna whip up some powerful evocation, evoking the word of the divine from within. Take it away,
Yes,
Reverend Marie.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So as we are in this moment, in this present moment, in this stillness, in this love, in this peace, in this joy, what it is that I know is that we are this divine expression. We are it. We are the peace that we seek. We are already in. And so I speak a word of blessing for this service, this one love Center for Spiritual Living service. I speak a word of blessing upon myself and Reverend Rodney as we bring forth the message today. And I speak a word of blessing for each and every person who joins us today, right here in this moment, and who joins us later on the replay. And so, what it is I know is that there's only love, there's grace, there's peace, there's compassion, and we get to choose all of it. And so, I simply allow this to be, knowing that it is so, it is done, it is now, and so it is.
It is so, and so it is, and now it is. Right now, yes,
Yes,
she said
yes.
that. She said it's right now. And that's what we know about prayer. It's already, we affirm it. It's already taken off. And we do our best to support that. Thank you so much for opening us up to receive the blessings of your powerful word and the words of truth.
Most
Yes.
welcome.
So, as we normally do, we're going to welcome everyone to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. We are just I don't know. For some reason, I'm just getting choked up about this. We are here and still here, making it through the pandemic, and changes occur. But we've been doing this since like 2011, and so it's just real powerful to me to always be available to what's new, what's now, what's next. And so one thing, or a few things that haven't changed, is our mission. We're on a mission to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. That's what it's about. I mean, what else could it be about? This is a spiritual life. We're all spiritual beings. So we welcome the opportunity to help people recognize and unify with their spiritual essence. And that's what we do. And we see, when we do that, we have a vision, and we envision the world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual practice and development, the continual growth and development of learning and the application of these spiritual principles. So the more we apply spiritual principles in our lives, the better life we get to live. I mean, it's pretty simple. As human beings, we get to complicate these things. However,
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
spiritual principles, they are laws, and they are the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we can depend on them. It's not necessarily great to have a dependence on things outside of us to make us feel better on the inside. But the spiritual principles, which are everywhere, including inside of us for our use, it's available to all, and we can apply them and have a better life. I think that's really what we all intrinsically desire.
Yes.
And yes, we have different ways in which that can happen, and hopefully they're the best for all. What's good for one, good for all. I mean, the highest sense of the word. So we are a community, and we're looking for this to expand. A community lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, and music celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual films. And yeah, we're looking forward to including those in who we are again, on a regular basis. And so, and so basically, that's what it's about. That's what we're about. And one of the most important things that we are about is prayer. You are already blessed with the opening prayer. And, One Love Center, we are prayer professionals, myself and Reverend Hodger and Ellen Swazo, our practitioner. We are ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charge, and already always within you for your immediate use. And we say, hey, if for some reason you need assistance in seeing that power that's there for you and seeing the beauty, the love, the joy, and whatever else, living into your full intention, which we're going to get into a little bit later, you can contact us. You can make a prayer request. You can contact us by emailing us, going to revrod17@gmail.com, or you can call and leave a message if you don't get anybody, 844-295-5155. And all your prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence, meaning, we don't tell anybody about it. It's nobody else's business but ours. So my request, you make a prayer request. My request is that you let us know when your prayer request has been fulfilled, has been answered. So that's that. All right. Let's just take that off. So once again, we have our awesome guest, Reverend Marie Kirkland. A little bit about Reverend Marie. She's an agent of change. I love that. She's a change agent who brings a quiet strength, as you can already know. You can already feel it. As she commands, she has a commanding presence with her sense of calm and in her life's work. She is an ordained minister and spiritual educator, a visionary, and a mentor to many. She has a rich tapestry of life experience that spans a military career, spiritual business leadership, metaphysical study, coaching, speaking, and mentoring. And she brings a perspective of wisdom and resilience to her discussion of living an intentional life. Rev Marie is an author of the forthcoming book, Intentional Life Matters, Reawakening in the Sacred Pause. And so it's just great to have you here again. And it's been a while because you were in your sacred pause. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So, and we're talking, and the theme for today, the topic for today is I got it, I lost it, I get it. And it has everything, a lot to do, I should say, with living intentionally, uh,
yes.
which is your baby now,
It is. It
And,
is.
yeah. And,
For many years I was living in line. I'm still living in line, and
mhm.
now I just took it another step.
All
To
right.
bring intentionality to the forefront. So yes, it is my baby. Because we get to choose, as we were talking about in the opening. We get to choose exactly the life we want to live. So I'm excited for today's discussion.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And and I am as well. So, when it comes to
And so as we take this pause, we take this sacred pause. What I'd like to do is that there is a reading for today, and this reading is from Eckhart Tolle. And so the reading says, when you accept this moment fully, when you no longer argue with what is, compulsive thinking wanes and is replaced by an alert stillness. You are fully conscious, and yet the mind puts no label on this moment. This state of inner non-resistance opens you to unconditional awareness, which is infinitely greater than the human mind. Then this vast intelligence can express itself through you and help you both from within and from without. And that is why when we let go of inner resistance, we often find that circumstances change for the better. And this quote is from The Stillness of Silence. And so that really ties into what we're going to be talking about today as we talk about today's theme of today's topic of I got it, I lost it, I get it. And oftentimes that requires us to take a sacred pause. It requires us to be still, just as I shared in Eckhart Tolle's quote.
Thank you so much for bringing that up.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. But yeah, I had my wonderful connection and I lost it, but I get it.
Right on time. Yes, and you're back.
But yeah, that's so important. Thank you for reading that.
Yes.
And it's so interesting. It's like the stillness sometimes seems scary. Sometimes it's like I've got to do something to make it happen. I got to, all that busyness going on in our mind, and nothing's actually happened anyway. It's so interesting how we can get in the way of what we really want to accomplish, and taking a pause, being in that stillness, really, it actually moves along what it is that we are intending to do, or what we would like to have happen.
Yes, indeed.
So, but thank you for filling that in.
You're
I'm
welcome.
going, yeah. And so we got some quotes here. I want to just introduce one. Oh, is this the one that you read? Wisdom comes, well, it's Eckhart Tolle, Stillness Speaks. And it says, wisdom comes when one is able to be still. Just look, just listen. Nothing else is needed. Stillness. Looking and listening activates the non-conceptual intelligence that nestles within you, and let stillness direct your words and your actions. Is that the same one that you read? Or you read? Okay.
No, this is a different one.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of stuff on stillness. So, I love how he says activates the non-conceptual intelligence that nestles within you. It's like the intelligence that we don't have to think about. We don't have to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It was there from before we knew it was there.
Indeed.
And even if we forget, it's still there.
Yes.
And that's only really recognizable when we're in the stillness.
Yes, when we take time to be still and to pause, we can actually hear what is seeking us.
Yeah.
We can receive, we can hear, and we can lean into it. But when we're so busy, when we don't get a chance to even live the life we're living or that we want to live, then we're, everything is needed.
Then we're wanting.
Everything is needed when we're too busy, right?
Yeah. And here's another quote by Joel Goldsmith, Practicing Presence. The mystics reveal that in silence and stillness lies our strength. In silence and stillness, we find God, not in external worship. And it's interesting because, the stories about, Jesus in the temple, he's like, yeah, you guys are worshiping all these idols. And, it's like
Mhm.
what you're looking for is already within, So he had a little breakdown in the temple and was turning stuff over. And, you know, it's just like, no, don't you get it? It's like, I'm going to help you. You think you got it. I'm going to help you lose it right now, you know.
Mhm.
Uh, and in order for you to actually get it, to get what it is you think you're looking for on the outside, you know.
Mhm.
And so, Rev Marie, we had a little conversation earlier in the week, I guess it was, and you're talking about losing it. And sometimes, and I know for me, if I'm holding on so much to the way I think things are supposed to be, the way things need to be, according to me, um, sometimes I just got to lose my mind, because that
Mhm.
small mind with a small M,
Mhm.
and say, oh, I lost my mind. Well, it's not the big M. It's not the one mind, from the mind of God that operates in us. We never lose that. But if I can lose the small mindedness,
Mm.
then
Yes.
I may have a chance.
Yes. And letting go to me is important, you know.
Mm, yeah.
So stepping into that space, that sacred space that's already there, and so recognizing it as we do with prayer, right?
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
we begin with recognition, recognizing it and being still enough to just sit in it, you know, being
Yeah.
still enough, not to. And there's a difference in pausing and retreating. There's a
Mm,
difference, you know. There's a difference in letting go and getting to know oneself better and getting to know and nourish that divine connection with with spirit,
hmm.
you know, and limiting oneself. So there's a difference in all of it.
Yeah.
So to embrace that that oneness, I think is so important. That stillness that Joel Goldsmith, and Eckhart Tolle was talking about is so important.
Yeah. Okay.
To be able to do that. Yeah,
Yes.
because we think we lost ourselves,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
did we really? You know.
Right. And I like this quote by Ernest Holmes because it really speaks to um, what I think many people are actually afraid of, of looking at their spiritual self or feeling exposed. And so the quote says, would you like to read it?
Oh yes, I'm reading.
Okay.
I think yeah, because I was really I had to take a moment to lean into it because it is very powerful. Nothing can hurt or disturb my spiritual self. I am free
Mm.
and safe. All plans and ideas can wait until later. My mind is quiet, calm, and deeply still. My body rests in the still silence of the spirit. Now, Rodney, you know that this directly speaks to me because one of the things right now is that I fully embrace spirituality,
Mhm.
soul care, slower living. Right? And in order for me to fully express, who I am, and I needed to get off of that. I'm not going to call it a Ferris wheel because it was going pretty darn fast, and Ferris wheels are pretty slow. So I don't know, roller coaster or whatever it was, but to be able to slow my life down enough to be able to just the pace, not the
Mhm.
impact, not the importance, not the significance, but the pace long enough and at a pace that's just right for me was it was, I don't know, instrumental in
Mhm.
me being able to live intentionally. So I really like that quote.
Yeah, absolutely. And the main thing that I came to not just learn, however, to understand, is that this takes practice. It's
Mm.
not automatic. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we just don't hit the ground running and we already know to. to be still and silent.
Mhm.
Sometimes we may do it just because it's natural. We don't think about doing it, but we do
Right.
it. However, as we grow, it seems as though that's not really looked upon, in especially in Western society, as something important to do. Like,
Mm.
it's more like, no, you have to do it. Do something. Don't do nothing. Don't
Mm-hmm.
do stillness. You
Yes.
gotta be about something. Do something to show that you're being about something.
Do something, and when are you going to do it?
Right.
Why haven't you done
Right, right. Or it's more like, aren't you doing something?
it? Yes. I
Yes.
one of my ways to, when I begin a conversation with someone, or just I may ask, how are you being? You know,
Yeah.
how are
Yeah.
you being and doing, instead of, well, how are you doing? You know, it's
Hmm.
important to simply be. Yes.
Yeah. I have a dear friend of mine who he doesn't ask, how are you doing? He
Mm-hmm.
asks, how are you living?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And so that just kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, I mean, even to answer the question,
Mm-hmm.
I've got to be still.
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's okay. So we have another quote before we look into something else. And where is it? Okay, yes. By Reverend Dr. Jose El Sosa. It says, here in our secret place of the Most High, the inner chamber of our own soul, are written the sacred words, I am, conceived in silent recognition. And that's so powerful. So
Mhm.
there is a treasure waiting for us when we go within. You
Mhm.
know, it's the I am, that connection that becomes apparent, that we become aware of in the silent recognition. And we know that word recognition is recognize, where
Mhm.
we know, we know it. It's almost like remember, except we
Right.
know it. And we're reminded that we know it. And however, it's in our secret place of the Most High. You want to
Yes.
speak to that?
Yes. In that secret place of the Most High, when we go into the stillness, when we go into the sacred pause, you know, um, we get to know more about who we are,
Mm,
get to know more about our full expression, and we get to bring into this place, the secret place of the Most High, those things that are just for us, because
hmm
that we keep sacred for us. We get to bring it into this secret place of the Most High. This is my thoughts. These are the things that we get to have these conversations with spirit,
Yeah.
and we get to share. I get to share what is already known, but I
Mm,
get to express,
yes.
whether it is just a profound joy or a deep sorrow. But
Mm,
I get to hold these things, like everything you don't share. But I
yeah.
get to do that in that secret place of the Most High. I get to simply be and express and to live, and to not shy away from life,
Mm-hmm.
but to be able to be still enough to hear and then experience spiritual renewal, you know,
Mm.
and step into the different pathways of intentional living. And one of those pathways is self-reflection. So when
All
I
right.
then
Awesome.
I get to
Yeah. And this happens in the moment.
hmm yeah, if we allow it, yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm back. Okay. Uh, so yeah, I mentioned, about the moment, and you have a wonderful quote about the moment. I'm going to bring it up, what we can do in each moment. Okay.
Oh,
So please read that.
okay. It's my quote.
Yeah.
Each moment, each moment invites us to recognize. You're talking about cognition, but to recognize each part of our being and love ourselves beyond limits and without conditions. We are always living, so choose to live aligned. And I will add, choose to live intentionally.
Ooh, all right. Yes, indeed. So, one of the components of your intentional living, because you have taken it to the next level from
Yeah.
living aligned, and
Yeah.
now that there's an alignment, now what? Yeah.
Now what? We get to choose to live intentionally, because intentional life does matter. Life is precious.
Mm-hmm.
Life is precious, and every moment of it is precious.
Yeah.
And so we say, okay, we're going to do our spiritual work, and there are so many different spiritual practices and how we do it. One of the things that I appreciate about our teaching and about our studies, as you and I have studied together for years now, maybe about over 11 years or so, we've been on this journey together, is that one of the things we learned about was dynamic equilibrium, right? Is, focusing on that thing that is before us right now and most important. But I also learned about, people talk about balance a lot, right? And so I find that we're not usually in balance, but there is a life enrichment that can happen. So one
Mm-hmm.
area of our life can enrich the other area. And so when living intentionally, I have intentional living framework, the 5 pathways of intentional living. And that is, as we begin to focus and go within, we can look at the different areas of our life. So spirituality, right? Then self-care. We must care for ourselves. Soul care, self-reflection, and slower living. And so those are the 5 different areas
Mm-hmm.
that we can choose. We can choose.
Yeah.
Now, what is wonderful is that as we take care of ourselves, the self-care or soul care, then
Mm-hmm.
the rest of areas of our life are expanded and enriched. And so it's not one or the other, that the whole of our life is enriched.
Well, that's awesome. It really does speak to a holistic way of living.
Mm-hmm.
There's, we talk about wholeness. It's almost becoming a catchphrase.
Right.
Wholeness. Yeah, everything's about wholeness. And however, it's not to be underestimated, uh,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like because you have five. I'm thinking about 5 fingers on one hand.
Yes.
And so you're able to, because of the topic, it's like I got it, and sometimes we think we got it,
Mhm.
and for some people may have heard the expression I got it," like there's a baseball player ready to catch the fly ball,
Mhm.
and they just think it's automatic. I got it, and
Right.
at the last second, they miss it, and then I don't got it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And sometimes that has to happen for us to get it.
Mhm.
We're going through life thinking we're, oh yeah, I've done this before. I got it. And that's when we can trip up on something or be distracted by something. And
Mhm.
that sometimes has to happen for us to really get it, being present in the present moment.
Indeed. One of the reasons I think that we think we have it is that we're focusing on other things outside of ourselves. And a lot of times what occurs, and what happened for me, is burnout, you know, doing so much, going so fast, doing all of these different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, not caring
Mm,
for myself, so
right. Right.
especially people who are in their work, their life's work is caring for others, you know,
Right. Yeah.
whether it is somebody in ministry, whether it's somebody, a first responder, somebody who's a caregiver, we care for others, and then we kind of put ourselves on the back burner,
Mm-hmm.
so we experience burnout, right? Or we're experiencing grief, or we're experiencing illness, right? And so all of these things, if once we begin to live intentionally, right, then we can live in a space where less is more. You know, we can choose wholeness over illness. We can choose, all of the different things, peace over anxiety. So we get to choose all these different things. And so just the 5 pathways are different ways, in different areas of our life that we can just support ourselves and love up on ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's important, as you said, the intentionality of our lives. It does matter. It's not something to just like take it frivolously. Sometimes it's daunting, feeling like
goodness,
I have to micromanage every aspect of my life to be intentional. And it's
this is that's the myth. Mm-hmm. That is a myth, because we can choose to slow down the pace of our life. One of the things that I realize is, guess what? I don't have to do everything all at once. Right. I really don't. Mm-hmm. And another revelation that I remembered is, guess what? The computer has like an off switch. And so I can actually be intentional just moments at a time. Yeah. I don't have to do it all at once. Mm-hmm. And I know that might sound a little bit like minimalism and slow living and minimalism. They're kind of cousins or sisters, but we can do things a moment at a time. Like in the mornings, I have a sacred time like most people do, where I'm not plugged in. I have a set of questions I may ask myself before I say yes, because I was very good at saying yes. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, I can do it, as you know, right? So there are different ways to do it. It does not have to, living intentional doesn't have to you don't have to get burnt out by trying to live intentional.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting because living intentionally can, it can include exactly what you said, that sacred pause.
Yes.
Intentionally pausing.
Yes.
Intentionally. I mean, the impression for me is living intentionally means I got to be showing something. I got something to prove. I got something.
No. Right. No. And it's totally there's a certain peace that I think that we experience when we're living in this way, living intentionally, right? Mm-hmm. I will let me share a story with you that's in my book. That feels good to say. I just want to take that. Share a story. I was in the Army, and I retired in 95. And so when I went in 1975, I went into the Women's Army Corps. So I was in the WAC. So it was interesting. It was an honor to do so, to serve the country, and I stayed in for a little over 20 years. One of the things that we learned when we first went into basic training is that we learned how to find ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Find our way wherever we may be, and find our way to a certain point. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's called land navigation, right? Mm-hmm. In the military. And to me, that is a beautiful metaphor for life navigation. Mm. So we learned how to look at a map, right? To decide where we're at on the map, to determine where true north is on the map, learned how to use a compass, a lensatic compass, point the direction. We learned how many steps is in a meter, right? How many meters you need to get to go to where you needed to go, right? And plot our course, right? So we learned how to do this during the day land navigation, land navigation and night navigation. Right? Mm. So in the dark of night in the woods, okay, learned how to get there. So one of the things that was important was that we had on our gear. So we had a helmet, we had our weapon, we had all of this stuff, and we had a compass. But some of those things at that time, the weapon was a steel pot, so it was metal. It could distract the compass. It could get in the way. We can get off course. So we had to do certain things, and just as in life, we need to know, where do we want to go, right? How do we want to get there, and what can distract us, right? So we needed to know we need this many steps in this many yards to get to where we want to go. Now, what if a tree is in the way? Well, you got to go around that tree, and so you have to compensate. What are the different things that we're doing? So how does this relate to intentional living? It is important for us to be able to find our way to where we want to go, no matter where we find ourselves. And in the book again, I talk about, so that's your inner compass, learning how to navigate. But what are you navigating? What is your own life philosophy? So we have spiritual principles we follow. We have a lot of different things that we follow. But within that, our spirituality is just one part of it. What are our values? What's our purpose? What are the different things that is important to us, that we're living and that we're expressing in the world? That becomes our own life philosophy. So we learn how to get from point A to point B. And then we learn what is that and how to navigate that. So our values becomes the compass, right? And so we learn how to get there, and it's just different paths on how to get there. So the different paths, maybe spirituality may be today, or caring for our soul may be the pathway today, or different paths, to get there. Maybe it's slowing down. So yeah, it's important. It's important because life is precious, and different things come up, that may, could be grief. It could be other things that may occur in our lives.
Right.
So it is one of the things I talk about, because I've had different things come up, is that I'm not navigating or trying to find my way back to who I was, because I'll never be that person again.
Right.
Finding my way to the me that I'm becoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for breaking down to a little intentional life and how it matters, and more importantly, how to make it matter. Because it's not, again, it's, if we can see the importance of our lives and not just take them for granted, then yeah, I want to have direction. I want to, live, by intention, and not just wake up and like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do today, and just go outside without any direction. It's like we're talking about, the flow, being in the flow of coming and going is the theme for the month. And in that flow, I don't want to just meander through life. I've been there. I've done that. It's not fun. At the end of the day, I'm like, gee, what happened today? And the main thing is, was there joy? Did I feel like I was a productive member of society? What did I bring? What was I able to receive? And I find that nowadays, because I have embraced intentionality to a greater degree, and even more so now that I'm going to get your book when it comes out.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
And from our conversation, it's like, one of the words that comes up for me is mindfulness. It's like we can be use mindfulness in our silence, in our stillness, and also in our intentionality. And so that's, listening to you, that's like, yeah, I need to be mindful about it. It doesn't mean think hard or trying to make something happen, but just be mindful.
Indeed. And just live in our flow, not somebody else's pace. And it's not always about, yes, it's about being intentional, but through mindfulness and through living in that flow. It's not like thriving. Oh, I have to make this happen. I have to do this. it's also very much so about nourishing the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are days where that is exactly what I mean. I have a soul care day, soul care Tuesdays,
Mm.
you know, where I'm going and I'm taking guitar lessons, or I may be getting a massage, or just doing whatever it is that that feeds my soul, you know, or
Awesome.
writing, or having those nourishing conversations with people, or
Hmm.
just being in self-reflection,
Yeah.
or practicing slow living. So it's about the living aspect of life, and to me, that's the most important word in Centers of Spiritual Living, or in the ministry that I directed, was living alive.
Yes.
The living aspect of life. How are we living? How are we embracing? Are we just letting it go by? I want
Hmm.
to enjoy it and nourish it, and just, life is delicious.
Yes, it is. Yeah. All right. And I just want to, Angela Fisa, one of our love notes when we had our in-person meetings. She was one of our vocalists, soloists. She says, I think it's important to be consistent. Consistence means to do the practice every day, or as often as you can, I guess, every day that you do. Be connected to your breath. Meditation allows you to connect with self and allows you to find your answers, you know?
Yes.
And she added something else. Breath, yeah. It's crucial. It allows to find the answers you need to move forward and accomplish whatever you intend.
Yes.
So yeah, great. Thank you, Angela Fista. And and thank you for that, because it's important
Mm-hmm.
that in all that we're doing, the breath must come first. you know, we have to, you know.
Yes.
However, there are people who hold their breath,
Mm-hmm.
which slows everything down. You're not getting enough oxygen to the brain. It's difficult to be mindful if you're not, you know, fully engaged. Like as you mentioned, it's holistic. It's got to be mind, body, soul, spirit, just all together, and it
Mm-hmm.
really pay attention to our breath. And
And that's one of the intentionality doesn't have to be hard. You
yeah,
know, one of the easiest ways is just to breathe
hmm
and know that we're breathing. We're always breathing if we're here, you know. But to focus on it, just take a moment to breathe in and breathe out, and that in itself, to me, allows me to know that I'm present, and
hmm
it slows me down for a moment. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna close that with two more quotes and then our affirmations. So I just want to bring this up real quick. And this is something else that we didn't necessarily cover, from Gary Zukov, that emotions reflect intentions. I'd like to hear what you think about this. And therefore, awareness of emotions leads to awareness of intention. So would you comment on that?
Yes, I absolutely agree. And that self reflection part of the pathways
Mm,
allows us to do that. And that can be something as adding journaling to our morning practice, right?
mhm,
Or reflecting as we may be going out on a walk or doing different things. So being able to reflect, and how are we showing up? What's coming forth for us? Yeah. So being aware of our intention, and to allow it to happen, not to make it happen,
mm.
to being aware of our emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, because being intentional, I know there are people who just say things off the top of their head, and
Mhm.
they're not taking the time to really listen to how
Mhm.
they're feeling before they open their mouth. Maybe some of you all
Mhm.
know somebody like that. They just, they could be angry and they'll just say anything, you
Mhm.
know, and without taking a moment, like, what is your intention in speaking those words? But
Yes,
if they don't have the awareness, then it's like anything goes. They're not aware
indeed.
of their emotions, and so
Yes,
therefore the intention, that may not really be what they intend. But
Indeed, indeed. And that's the same for, I think it's important for us to tap into our emotions with our actions. And
Hmm.
so if we're asked something and we always say yes, what is our intention? But what is the emotion beyond that? You know,
Mm.
why
Yeah.
are we doing that? And I think that's why when it's important to ask ourselves questions before we say yes. One of the most powerful questions I have is this something that that I feel that I want to do before I leave this earth? And if the answer is not yes, then
Mm. Right.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
something
I know.
simple like, does this bring me joy?
Right.
Does
Does
this
it
bring
bring
up
me
the joy
joy?
from within? You
Mhm.
know, am I able to express love
Yeah.
through, this intention?
Yeah. Do I
You know,
have the time capacity?
yeah, yeah,
You know, that's one of my favorite ones. So
yeah, yeah. So I want to add one more quote, and it says, "Go for it. You go for it."
what if I fall? Oh, but darling, what if you fly? Indeed, by Aaron Hansen.
Mm.
Yes, indeed. What if? What
Yeah,
if? Yes.
So I love that because it has everything to do with the intention.
Mm-hmm.
It's like already the idea, the concept is to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else comes in? Then there's the self doubt of, well, but what if I fall? And it takes us back to the original intention. What if you fly?
Mm-hmm.
So many times we have that emotion of fear that gets in the way of our intention of that we had in the first thought.
Mm-hmm.
The first thought was, I'm going to go fly. And then that fear thought will creep in, but what if I fall, or what if I
Mm-hmm.
fail?
Mm-hmm.
What if it doesn't work out? Well,
Yes.
no, that's not the first thought. The first thought is
Yes.
the accomplishment of the intention, the goal, whatever it is. And it comes to us complete, like we talked about wholeness. It comes with a complete idea already.
Complete. Complete. I will fly.
Yeah, I'm
I,
flying.
I am flying.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used the analogy in a while, but it's like the picture puzzle. 1,000-piece picture puzzle. When you buy the puzzle in the box, the cover shows what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it'd be real difficult to put it together. So
Mhm.
the intention is already complete in the mind or in what you're looking at.
Yes.
And then we work, as you mentioned, in ways. Now, I don't know anybody who has put together a very large puzzle nonstop, right? What do we have to do?
Exactly.
We have to take a pause, right? We have
Mhm.
to go slowly because you can't just rush and try to put things together. So we can put into those five principles that you established. You,
Mhm.
you, you know, yeah,
Indeed. Indeed. Yes, that puzzle. You have to know what it's going to look like. How
uh-huh.
do I get there? Do I start from the corners?
Mhm.
Yeah. What is my philosophy of on putting stuff together? The whole. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so much of that applies to the analogy of our lives.
Mhm.
Are we in the flow? Are we open to receiving? Are we open to giving? Are we open to being still to
Mhm.
know which way to go and how to get there?
Yeah.
So thank you so much. All
Thank you.
right, so we're going to do some affirmations to further assist us in our knowingness of our getting and getting and losing and most importantly knowing on an intentional level.
Yeah.
And so I invite each one to take a breath, and I'll read the first one and you can do the second and I'll do the third. All right, so and we do this before each one, so invite each one to take a breath and release the breath, and we do the affirmation. It says, "It is so that today I let go of my identification with doing and allow the self to be." We have to do that one
Yeah.
again. Take a
Yes.
breath. It is so that today I let go of my identification with doing and allow the self to be.
Yes.
Mm.
Mm.
Take a breath,
Yes.
and you can catch the next one.
Yes. And so as we breathe in,
Mm.
hmm, we know and affirm that it is so, that I surrender to this moment, being free to trust the divine spirit.
Mm. One
And
more
take
time.
another breath.
Mm.
Hmm. And know that it is so, that I surrender to this moment,
Mm.
being free to trust the divine spirit.
Mm. As a matter of fact, we'll have you do the next one.
Okay. Mm. Breathing in and breathing out. It is so that today I rest in the stillness to uncover my intention and passion.
Mm.
Mm. Breathing in and out again. It is so that today I rest in the stillness to uncover my intention and passion.
Mm. It is so, and so it is, and now it is. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to have Rev Marie come back in just a moment. Okay, I'm going to incorporate a spiritual mind treatment, and then we'll come back and put it all together. Okay. All right. So right here, right now, knowing all there is now, all there is right now. All there is a divine presence, the infinite intelligence that is in, through, as, behind, on all sides, and most certainly within. And we simply call it God or Goddess or Allah or Buddha or whatever name, doesn't matter. There's only one. And we'll call it the one. Call it IT, infinite truth, whatever. That there's only one. And so in this space and knowingness of oneness, oh, there's divine intention in this indwelling spirit. And I'm trusting and knowing that each one is open to being still in the quiet moment, to hear the still small voice that says, go left, go right, stand still, breathe, just be, time for action. Mm. Step back, step up, step around, step in with divine intelligence, with divine knowing, with the divine intentionality for living a life worth living. And this shows up as we are intentional when it comes to our relationships, knowing that, yes, there is no accident why we meet one another. We're intentional in being spiritual, being the love, the joy, the peace, the harmony, the understanding, the compassion, whatever is necessary in that moment, whatever the divine intention is for our lives in that moment. We take a pause to listen for the direction. I know this is true in all of our affairs. It's true when it comes to our finances, that each one is open to receiving what is necessary to be and to do what they are here to be and to do. There is a divine intention. And on this planet, in this world, at this time, money helps us do it, helps us accomplish our goal and our mission to have that divine intention be realized. Whether we step back for a moment and take a pause and find out the best way for us to be open to receive from the treasures of the divine, the ways in which we put them to use, the ways that we allow ourselves to intentionally succeed in our divine mission, our purpose on the planet. And so I am knowing we get to be intentional with our health in order to be ready, to be prepared for what it is that we are to be, to do, and to have. That we allow ourselves to breathe and rest and know that divine health is the order of the day. That is the intention of the divine that has put us on the planet in the first place to live out the divine intention. And so we know that every cell of our body is operating with that intention to do what it has been placed there to do. This is how it be. And so I know that this and so much more is the truth as it continues to unfold in wonderful, powerful ways. And I release this word to the law of divine right action that knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And we simply release it, relax in the knowing that it is good, that it is so, with gratitude and appreciation. I let it be the good it unfolds to be. And simply affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is. Now it is, right now, even now. Yes, so that was definitely prayer, 5-step prayer. And we do offer prayer support. So we are prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is always full of power, charged, and always within you for your immediate use. And we can help remind you of that. Give us a call, send us an email, and we will most certainly pray about or do treatment. We're treating the mind about whatever that situation is. If life is so good and you don't know how to handle it, contact us and we will do treatment on it for a period of 7 days. And let us know that if you have not felt that you have received that blessing, we will continue to pray until you let us know that, hey, yes, it's done. Because we know it's done. We want to hear it from you. Okay. And if you need more in-depth time, we can arrange a special session. It's at fee. However, no one is turned away. And we will, you contact us and we'll set that up. And so thank you very much. You can, you can email revrod17@gmail.com or call 844-295-5155. And again, your prayer requests are kept confidential. Also, speaking about support, we want to thank everyone who has been giving and donating and tithing and sharing of their resources from the one source. It's a resource from the one source. And we thank you. We are grateful and appreciate and put it to good use. Your donations, you can be sent to go to our website, onelovecenter.org. Look for donate button. You can donate through PayPal, or if you don't want to go through that process, you can use the Cash Me app, which is use $, One Love CSL. We thank you so much for your givingness and for your ability to give and your desire to give. And as we give, so shall we receive. But that energy just builds on itself, and the more we give, the more we get to give. So we have affirmations of abundance. I'd like to invite everyone to participate. And here we go. So, affirmation of abundance, that money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. And as I share my tithes and offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good work these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is. Thank you in advance, and know that you don't have to wait till Sunday to participate, and any amount is fine. We accept it all. And again, we are thankful, we're grateful, we give thanks. There are some announcements. First and foremost, we're requesting technical assistance in managing our broadcast. We do have some assistance, just not today. So that's why, the more the merrier. And maybe there's someone who would dedicate themselves to every Sunday or some Sundays in the month, however that works out. We're open and we will instruct and teach and educate in how to do it. Also, you can contact us by email, revrod17 at gmail.com or 844-295-5155 to be of service. Thank you. Bless you for your assistance and maybe even assistance in finding someone who would like to help. So thank you for that. We are still looking to start up the class Beyond Limits, move into living beyond your limiting beliefs by registering for our class Beyond Limits. Go to our website, onelovecenter.org/events, and let us know your intention. Get your spiritual education intentionally. Yes, you can make a plan. Like, you know what? I'm going to grow spiritually. And that means, hey, I want to get a better understanding of how to use spiritual principles in my life. And in that way, we grow. So, absolutely, we are here for you. Also, oops, it's not here. There are some retreats that are coming up. Perhaps you can check our website for that information. I don't seem to have it here right now. So I'm going to bring the wonderful Reverend Marie back, Queen of Intentionality.
I'll take that.
Yes, absolutely.
Gratitude.
Yes, yes. So what would you like to share before we go into prayer and then follow up with a closing song?
Just take a moment to simply be.
Mm.
Simply be. Simply be. That's it. Yes.
Not as hard as it sounds, right?
Not as hard as it sounds.
However, it's only as hard as we make it. And, so it's like, and thank you again for being here. And thank you for providing some information about intentionality, about intentional life matters, and how.
And I think you have a link to share.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Please. Thank you for reminding me. I might have put it in, but let me put it in now. Because sometimes when people pop in later, they don't see everything that was already put in. Yeah. So thank you for that.
The last one that I showed you.
Yes. Okay. Let me know. Can you see the comments?
Yes.
Okay. It's in YouTube. It's in Facebook. So, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me make sure I got everything. Yes. Okay. And yeah, so we're going to have a shared prayer here. And I'll start it off and you can finish it. And then we'll say, see ya after the song. Okay, so as we go within, we are intentionally going in. It's like, yes. Oh, what a wonderful service. What a wonderful celebration. Wonderful ideas that we get to live a better spiritual life intentionally. We are intentionally speaking our word, knowing that only good follows. And so I know that each one who has been listening to this, whether live or the recording, it says, you know what? I'm going to be mindful about how am I living? Am I living intentionally, even when it comes to taking a pause, slowing down? And so going throughout the week, each one gets to take a look at that moment by moment. Listen, how else do we live but moment to moment, by moment, in the moment? Now I turn my word over to Rev Marie.
Yes, and in this moment, in the sacred moment, in each moment throughout this week and beyond, what it is we get to know is that life is precious. And that our life matters, and that intentional life matters, and that living is simply focusing on that breath. Living is simply taking that next step, whatever that step may be. So we invite all of us, including ourselves, to nourish our souls, to lean into our spirituality, to simply embrace spiritual renewal, and to be who we are becoming as we are ever evolving. And so with this is so much more. I allow it to be, knowing that it is already done, it is already embraced, it already is. And so it is, and now it is.
So it is, and now it is. Thank you. Woo! Big hug to you. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. You know, folks, I have to tell you, I'm going to do it my best without crying. Reverend Marie and I talked about this when we were in ministerial school. We talked about doing stuff like this together. Talk about intentionality.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
I'm like, when I was into that prayer, I'm like, wait a minute, this is spirit at work.
Yes, answered prayer indeed.
Yes. So we have become available. I just want to quickly say, it's like if I was doing my center and she was doing her, we just wouldn't be here together to bring this together like this, and it's just so powerful how an intention set years ago, is showing itself. It doesn't necessarily mean this is the only way, because she's been with us before. However, I was like, wow, it builds on itself,
It does. That evolutionary process, and I know that you don't know this, but I was writing about that first retreat that I attended in 2014 in Clearwater. And where each, the group of us stepping into a wisdom that we had not yet lived or learned. Here we are, all of us, living through that intention that was created in that space, in that sacred space. So yes, I'm feeling that through my body right now. So how wonderful it is, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So everybody just stick around just for a moment. We have a powerful song that's also going to speak to intentionality. So just stick around for a moment while I get this happening. And if you haven't heard it before, you're going to like, oh, yeah, yes. And if you heard it before, you're going to go, oh, yeah. Either way, you're like, oh, definitely. And I just want to say, we can talk about it and everything, and the song is going to, reflect intention, living intentionally, and so we've just put it together, and you're going to get that emotion that has you ready to okay, I'm going to get into them 5 steps of intentional life, and how it matters. And, so check out her website, and, and get plugged in. So here we go. Yeah.
Depends on it. Depends on it. Ooh, yeah. You got to sing your song as if your whole life. Whole life. Depends on it. Depends on it. You got to sing your song as if your whole life. Whole life. Depends on it. Depends on it. Depends on it. You got to sing your song.
That's it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Madeline. Thank you, Angela Tina Fista, for watching along. And everybody, please remember to share. Even if you watch the recording, share it. Yeah, I'm sure there's something in here for everyone, that somebody can catch something to help them live their life more intentionally. Thank you, Reverend Marie.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Thank you all.
Peace
Bless
and
you
blessings,
all.
everyone.
All right. Oh, please come back. Would you come back? Reverend Marie, would you come back?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you.
At some point, yes.
All right.
Well,
Well,
yeah, after my book comes out. Yes.
Okay, that's great.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
please put me on top of the list for that. I want to be
At
like,
the top.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm hold to that intention. All right. Blessings, everyone.